All right, so the recording, they just missed all of the fun beginning stuff, but anyway, yeah, because there's a lot of customization that can happen on this. So
what I want to know is, how do you pronounce the name of it?
I was pronouncing it Kalanchoe, or it could be Kalanchoe. I have no idea.
Okay.
It sounds good either way. Depends.
Hey, you guys, if it's Japanese, then it's Kalanchoe.
Oh.
Kalanchoe, and her name is Emiko, not Emiko. Emiko.
Let's see where Emiko is from.
Oh, her name is Japanese. For sure.
Yeah.
Then I would say Kalanchoe, but I have to look. Let's see. What does it say? It says, but I named this tangle the summer type succulents. Oh, yeah. Kalanchoe.
Oh, I have some of those.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, I think, yes.
All right.
I do.
Well, you know how to
there we go. All right. I didn't even put all of it together. Okay, so back to this. Thanks, Storm. So following through the steps, a lot of it can be customized, as you'll see in just a moment when I'll go back to the Tangle Patterns link. But it's just the things that you want to think about. We'll see if I end up varying it from before, from what she has here. But there's just some different ideas that I put, basically copying hers at the bottom here. But here is the Tangle Patterns link. If you are not subscribed to Tangle Patterns, it is a great thing to subscribe to, as well as the Zentangle newsletter, and those are right here if you go to Tangle Patterns. And I will copy this, we'll put this in the chat as well so you have it. But here are some ideas. So right here on the left, you see how it's curved, and let me flip down. Yeah, that's so funny. Flip down, okay, to Emiko's step out. And yeah, this last one, see how there's no aura-ing of that. I was calling them handset because all I could think of is it looks like an old phone handset.
It looks like a handle.
Oh, it could look, handle too. There we go. Handle better. Yeah, that's, yeah. But yeah, so you could just, curve them if you want. Kind of, to me, it kind of looked like fescue on both sides, the way the fancy fescue we do. So you could curve them and aura them or not aura them. Apparently it's all up, it's all up to us. Lots of options. And I'm going to come back up here to that. But yeah, so it's just neat. And then either the center could be filled in, or, and I can flip down to the bottom again. There was one where she has it, where it's a little grid. Let me see. Right here in the center. So what you would do is you would, kind of do the rounding of the edges like we would do here, maybe a little wider. But then one way to, here it is right here. Then we can disguise the grid lines, or the diagonal lines it would be, by just aura-ing them both sides, and then you end up with this. And that looks neat too. So, look at my, it does. Reading the chats for people on the recording. But yeah, so lots of options. And so it kind of goes too with the, if something goes awry, don't worry about it, because then just keep doing that same thing and it will all look neat. So, all right. And I think that was it. Yeah. Okay. Just neat tangle. And I like the color. Oh, maybe this is why, because we had several that like everybody did blue. Not everybody. Anybody that used color, it seemed like blue was the only color. This is probably why we did a like a subliminal something. And I didn't realize that till now. I thought, gosh, look at everybody's on the same page. Wow. That is really cool. All right, so here is the Tangle Patterns link. And okay. And flipping, okay, seeing what I missed in the chat. So I am. What color are you using there, Mom?
I have that blue that looks green.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to use. Although, nah, I won't try that. There were some really neat things on the earlier one, and okay, Kitty. Well, hey, if we can make your housework a little more fun, then great. Okay, I'm debating, but we'll see now if I'm using my pen. Then, Oh, yes. So Tom and Carla, or Carla, I should say, yes, they are. And let me, I don't have that other chat. Let me really quick. Oh, maybe I can go back. Maybe. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, the one. I'm going to put this link in. If you don't have Instagram, I don't know if it will work. Let me just share it though, and I might try that one again. It is by our favorite Tough Tangle Tuesday CZT Thomas Padros. And let me just share that really quick. So if you wanted to do that, then you could see. I started doing it on this black one. Why? Okay.
What are you doing?
Let's see. Okay, there's this. All right. And are you seeing the Oasis? Oops, and we've got somebody open here.
No.
Here, Storm, we'll go ahead and mute you if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's
Something happened.
all right. And okay, so hopefully you're seeing Oasis is the one that we're mentioning. So flipping back to here, this is Oasis. And luckily
I was there for a minute.
Oh, is it? Do you see it?
For a second.
Are you seeing the
Now we're
tangle
back.
pattern?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this one with the blue is Oasis by Thomas Padros. And then the other one is called, and I've lost the name again. Oh, it's a Tangle Patterns. I mean, it's a Zentangle pattern.
It looks like Shawtuck, but it's not.
No, yeah, it's
It's a straight nut.
It'll pop into my head and I'll find it. That one, I mean, that one you can kind of guess. But so let me show you really quick while I'm looking that one up. So this is Oasis. Looks really simple. This will be tomorrow's quickie because it looks neat and it looks fairly easy to do. This one, they look like I said they look like little fish, but what I didn't see was where they were crossing. So because in my mind I was like, oh well, and I bet you probably still could. Starting one side, come up and around, and then, land on the other. I was trying to do them just, kind of one side at a time, which is what it looks like it is. And so just alternating those and then putting some little, straight lines up at the top. So from where the little curve line of the fishtail is, from, one to the next, and then it just looks really cool. And then, of course, you could do some aura-ing, and as Thomas usually does, it gives you tons of ways to have fun with it. But yeah, so you can aura, and you see, even if they're not the same not the same heights, there's no way to lose on this one.
Is the other one hybrid?
Hybrid, yes. Yes, that's what it was. And
well, yes, it's straight on hers, but in the book it's like at a oh no.
There was like two. There was hybrid, and then there was something else.
Hybrid band and
yes.
hybrid, and they start out doing triangles, but it ends up being square. It's very neat.
Well, we'll look at that one really quick too. Oh, and I did put Thomas's. Let's see if it's in here, and it's HY, I think, right?
Yes. No, HI.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if it's in number 2. And I'm going to guess it's here, unless it's one of those that, and I apologize for anyone if you're watching and it's making you dizzy. Here we go, hybrid, and looks like she did the one. We'll have to, oh, wait, here we go. And I'll put this one in also. So if you want to, I had mentioned I thought about doing WUD. Yeah, so this one starts off with a, a zigzag, and then aura-ing both sides until you get to the middle. And, and doing either side. So that has a neat look. I'll put that in there as well and add it to my list of things to add. All right. There we go. Okay. Oh, let me stop the screen share. Okay. And everybody's already half done now. And
really.
and Carla had gotten that as well at the same time. All right, what color am I doing here? Okay, so I think I'm going to do, gosh, it'd be neat to do it smaller, but I don't really want to. So I'm going to, well, not use that pen. And sure. There we go. Okay, I'm going to use a pen apparently today. That's fine enough. Whoa, as it dips. Even my little box shape is not necessarily even, but that's okay. All right, so I'm going to do this, the 4 squares. We'll see how even I get it. All right, then remembering the diagonal, and I always like to do, when I'm doing the diagonal, I like to focus in on going from one corner to the next corner or the intersection, and then do the next one, because that way, as usual, if my grids are not perfect, which they never are, then it's kind of its own course correct, sort of, versus just doing one big straight line. All right. Then, okay, we're going to go with what they said, the 2 little dots. And I might do again, I think I shall. I'll do one box first. And I guess it is a little bit of a safety, because if you don't like where you put them, then you can adjust once you can see them all there. Oh, and I did all of the other ones too. Let's say the other thing thinking about is when you have a bigger grid like this, you kind of want them to connect. So you have straight lines coming. So actually, I'm just gonna do these 2, and then I'll get the rest. Okay. Then we're gonna do curved lines aiming towards this to the X, towards the center of the box. I kept trying to do them the wrong way. And they don't have to be like real high. It's just a little bit of a curve. And let's see, what is this? Oh, that's black too. I'm really wanting this. Oh, good, that one works. Okay, then I am going to do just the squaring off one. Oh, although, nah, let's stick with one. Because I had mentioned earlier, in your grid you could do the decorating one way in this, in this box, and maybe the same this way, and then alternate it. By the time I get there, I'll have figured that out. And then, of course, here, because we're doing a fill-in, you can always, if you need to extend it a little bit more, your curve line or anything, it's the time to do it. Oh, and then keeping these little ends, so it might be too late for some, keeping the ends small also seemed to help, because looking back at what I did earlier, although when you see the whole picture, it really doesn't matter, but I was using the number 10 jelly roll and it was a little thick. So on these sides, when you aura it and aura both sides, then you want to have that one line coming out the middle, because it's kind of hard to see on here. That's one thing I was playing with. It ends up looking like a pocket, this bit, because it's almost like as if this is a piece of paper tucked in, here. And I had one place somewhere here where it was just I barely had enough room to have the line in the center. It was almost solid. So just something to think about. And if that happens, then we just figure it out, right? And go with the flow. Okay. Then we'll aura. And that's coming from the curve line and around the place that you boxed it in. And that is if you decided to do the aura-ing. And I was gonna watch. So at the end, Jen had asked, because we got on the subject of, which way is it better to? Well, it was straight lines. I think it was Jen. It's like, drawing away from you or towards you, and so she had read something about that, and then we were talking about it afterwards. And so now I just keep thinking about it, and we did decide that it's whatever works best for you. I like that blue.
Yeah, I thought since I'm working on a blue paper, I thought I was inspired by that other blue one. So
Yeah.
But I am having to adjust my my little handles.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I can do it well. No matter what. If I was using just a black pen, I could still do that too. But.
Right. Well, Jen says, sorry for putting. No, that's better than other things that go in my head. So that's good. Yeah, and it's. I think I need to work more on black, so that way I don't know. So and maybe it's just these black tiles, because we talked about that before. Sometimes, because they're so absorbent, we'll use that word, that it doesn't have as neat of a look as like on the Bristol paper like you're using, and that
Yeah, this has a slicker surface.
Yeah.
Boy, in the picture it looks almost neon. It doesn't look that way in real
life.
But well, I think this is one of the. Well, this is the starlight.
Oh, okay.
Or moonlight or something. Moonlight. There's a moon and a star, whatever that is.
Yeah, that could be one. Yeah, if you have I don't know if they came normally in the neon set or not.
No, it's not a neon. It's just a regular starlight.
Well, and I think I'm gonna. So normally, what they call for, like here, not normally. On the step out itself, it was like a straight line after you get the aura-ing done, but on the options, I'm going to do one of the options. So I'm just going to kind of flare it more at the end, like that, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do in there.
I'm not aura-ing mine. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, as it showed, you don't have to. It was just, as I was talking through it and it's like, well, and you really don't have to. It's like, oh, and, you know, then I was stepping back. That's why I kind of was cracking myself up a little bit. Because as I was stepping back, I'm like, really? There's, you can go back almost to the beginning and, oh, you don't have to do any of this. It's all up to you. One thing I did like is, let's see. Well, I think I can still do it. It doesn't matter, right? We can make up our own things. Okay. Because I also really liked how she auraed these center lines. And so I think I'm going to do that. But I'm going to do a combination thing. So I'm going to do the rounding part in the center, but I'm going to make it a little bit wider than just like at the center as is in the step out. And then, oh yeah. Well, that's all. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Reminding myself. So I'm going to aura this ever so carefully and go around that and then to the other side. And apparently, let's see. Okay, so really funny. So going back to what to Jen, I'm going to be thinking about this forever, just because my brain does like to analyze things. So when if I have this position this way, I want to draw up, but it was also okay when I had it positioned this way to draw down. So which just kind of goes back to the I just don't know. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's no up, there's no down. It's all good. As long as this just all makes us happy. And then, whoops. Okay. And then I'll decide exactly how I want to decorate that. Exactly. Whatever works. Okay. And then I think then we'll finish the rest. So I got one done. This is one of those where I'm not exactly sure which way I like to do it, because there's some grids that I like to do one box at a time, because they're like my favorite flourish, because there's enough steps that I can get myself turned around. Okay. This one I'm not sure. Well, the only thing that I am sure in is that I continue to want to do this curve line going the wrong direction. And I don't know why.
Well, and that's one reason to do them all at the same time, because then you have that muscle memory going for you.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just be extra lazy and do, all that are going that same direction. Well, that's not really lazy. It's kind of how I remember.
No, that's a good method. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say at least the little dots are on, of course, the outside. So that way, if you need to adjust from where they're at, then you can. I think too, doing it this way also adds to the consistency.
Yes. Whatever you say, Heather.
Okay, it's my story.
And you're sticking to it. I know.
Yes. Well, and then it probably too lends itself to the concept that Rick and Maria write about of of being surprised at the end. We're just following the steps. We're not thinking, only kind of focused on just whatever that step is, and then when we're when you've run out of steps. Then we go, oh my gosh. Then I have to look and see what you're doing. Ooh, with the white. Oh, neat.
Well, don't say that too fast.
I think it's very cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, my voice sounds like, I'm in the basement, but.
Some of my little, well, let's see, I can just make that a little thicker and it will be okay. And one more. I think too, doing all of the steps in the same direction. I mean, besides we'll say the likelihood of consistency is better. Yeah, I think you can also do the whole lose yourself in it a little bit better too, because that way it's you're it's more repetitive. And I had decided this is the way I needed to aura these was to kind of start from that center and being careful and pulling the aura out a little further from the corner, and then just doing one big curve line. I can't remember. I tried a couple different ways, almost like doing somewhat one stroke, but it just wasn't happening.
Well, this is another one of those that, depending on how you're decorating it, it changes how the pattern looks.
Mm-hmm.
It just presents its own different variations. It's pretty cool. I'm liking it.
Oh, good. Because I'm looking at yours, and I'm thinking, well, I can't wait till it's done now to and you're not auraing.
No.
Which is fine.
It still looks sort of like a tablecloth pattern, but
well, and then when we get to shading, because like I said, this ends up looking kind of like a pocket, or just, and that's where I guess I think of some of the patterns that we did with that of Thomas Padros, where well, and maybe it's this style of auraing where we're not auraing all the way around, we're creating this path, and now this goes underneath. But then to add, shading and highlighting depending on what you end up doing to emphasize that pocket or the over under. Well, and that one I just decided to do differently. That's always exciting. Well, this one is so small. Yeah, but I think this is for sure is one of those. It looks more complicated.
It definitely does.
Than it is to do. And then we just keep that our secret. But people get all impressed, and you're like, oh, yes. Thank you. It was hard work. Like the old Rice Krispie Treats commercial where the mom comes out and she spritzes flour on her face so it looks like
like she's been working forever.
Yeah, and then just like, oh, here you are. I slaved. Actually, this also doing each step, not changing them. For a minute, I'm like, well, what did I do next? That's right, Carla. They don't need to know. They need to. It's like when you post things and oh, that's amazing. Well, you should come see. Really, you too can do it. And it's also fun to have all of these options. I mean, besides that, it can make them all look so different. You're sliding off, Mom. You see, this when we get all into it, then we start pulling it off.
But I like to draw in my lap.
I decided that earlier. Oh, I should do this again. Move the camera. No, get where I'm comfortable, and then move the camera so that way it's in place. Instead of I've been just doing it the other way around. And there's the last one.
Now I have so many options, I don't know what to do.
And it's really that is neat. I'm
trying to look for another shade of blue, but they're all. I might have to go to a colored pencil.
Sorry, I was trying to remember what my next step was. What? Well, trying to make this rounding be even, but If it's not, it's not. And then if what's nice is if you do something like this that's open and then you really don't like it, then you could just color it in. Nobody except us will be the wiser. All right, now let's see. Okay, and then I aura'd ever so carefully. Ooh.
Oh, I guess I like that. I have to look at the camera because I can't tell from what I'm looking at.
All right. Actually, what I should do is in general just work more with the jelly rolls for the idea of using the thicker nib and feeling kind of more practiced at it. Or just stick to what I like, which is using the 01 or something small. And it's funny, now I'm seeing these little things as mushrooms. Oh, so are you filling in?
Yes.
Nice.
And changing my mind as I'm doing it.
Oh.
Well, I'm stuck filling in, but I decided to instead of filling in just these little triangles, I'm carrying it out to the outer edge.
I see lamps hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, they could be true. Yeah.
And Cherie, you said that you thought it was like tile. Is that what you said?
I said what?
What did you say it looked like to you? Like tile?
Tablecloth.
No, it looks like beautiful terracotta, or not terracotta, but beautiful Delft tile.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going for.
Yep. See? Or backsplash. Now it looks even more like that. There you go. I think you could sell it to the backsplash people.
Oh, you just gave me an idea. Oh, I don't think I could do it though. Because tomorrow morning I teach a hand-built pottery class. It's an ongoing class. And we usually just work with, clay from a 25-pound block, but I also have casting slip and this one little mold that makes a little oval dish, covered dish. And then I carve on it. I could carve this design on the top of it.
You could.
Should I try that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to post it so we can see.
All right. Well, it'll be a month before it's all done.
You'll be like, remember when we did this one?
Well, I did elegant on one that's being fired right now. But I thought, oh, this might be interesting because I could carry it down over the sides and all of that. Now I don't know whether I should continue in here with those things or do something else. What does it look? Oh, it does look much better on the screen than it does in person.
That's so funny. Well, but would you? Well, I guess you don't have to continue it on all sides. Let's see.
No, I don't have to continue. I'm going to do something totally different on the inside. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. What? That's my changing my mind midstream noise.
Oh, let's see. Oh, and Kitty says, yeah, way behind. Okay. Make hers more mushroomy. Yeah, I think, to make this part more mushroomy, either, well, and if you didn't do it on the first curve line, which is what that second step, you could accentuate it with the aura, and actually doing the kind of like Mom did, making the instead of it. Oh no, you did yours more squaring.
My handles?
The handles are more squared corner versus, having it come back on itself and just be rounded.
It looks exactly like yours.
Oh no, I know. Mine's not like that. Wait, let me share again. So it looks more, oh, not that one. Where'd it go? Oh, how could I have lost that?
I don't know. You did just what I did when I was trying to look back to see what
there it is.
The original did.
I usually start something in a new tab, so that way, like this one right here. See?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to kind of achieve.
Oh, okay. No,
but
see, you have the squared, like right here. I'm just talking about this first step. Maybe it's easier to see on the black and white.
Yeah, but looking back at that gave me another idea.
Oh, good. But yeah, see, like this, it's it's like a curved line, and then like a little seed on each end. So it's more curved.
Yeah, I did not do it quite that way.
Okay. Yeah, but if Kitty wants to make it look more mushroomy, like right here. Oh, and then actually looking at each triangle, it kind of could look, the whole thing could look more mushroomy. Because I'm not, for whatever reason, my eyes just saw the whole triangle as one thing versus, the square in the middle and this, I don't know. My eyes are playing tricks. How interesting. An atomic. That's right, Rich. An atomic bombshell mushroom cloud. Oh, that's funny. Or, yeah. Oh my goodness.
And very zen too, the atomic cloud.
Oh, raining peace and happiness and love over. That's what it blows up. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just interesting, and even just how you do the center, and then of course, it looks it looks different when they're all together. Oh, she's thinking morels. Oh, well, there you go. and that's why I like to share those, and then do like what I'm doing, just sometimes just popping back, because might just spark a different idea. Okay, so for me, I wish that went. Although, oh no, that's not gonna. Oh, no, I'm gonna do the grid idea inside these, and I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna come back and thicken up the lines just to correct something else. But it is really a nice way, if you're in any pattern, because we've done this, gosh, a number of tangles where we make these this grid line essentially disappear by auraing it, or it, it depends on what the pattern is, because sometimes it's just a straight line, because that's all you're trying to disguise. And just neat. I tell you what, in my mind, I'm going back to the conversation with Jen from earlier. It's it, and all of these little lines I'm drawing away from myself. So isn't that funny? I'm gonna have to start keeping a tally when I pay attention. Let's see if I aura on the bottom of the base and shade it the right way. Yeah, that's exactly. I do like how she also did making it a little bit thicker on like the center of of this rounding, so it kind of gives a neat look to that. Also, there was what was it called, Vonk or something, where that's all it was a bunch of curved lines that kind of go out, and then you added some weight in the kind of dead center, and it gave I don't know if 3D isn't the right word, but always made me think of those little toys that you used to get them in the Cracker Jack boxes, that you turn it one way and you see one thing, you turn it the other way, you see something else. Whatever those are called. That's for whatever reason, that's what that one tangle makes me think of.
Hologram.
Oh, is it even the little plastic ones with the ridges?
No, I don't think it's a hologram, but it's, yeah, the picture changes depending on the angle you look at it.
Yeah, which kind of like the holograms, like when you look at your credit card. You remember when those first came out and you could see the dove, and then if you held it just right, it made it 3D. Either way, both of them. Those are super cool. And hi, Diana. Glad that you got to join again. All right. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Oh, goodness, we have 3 minutes to go. Yeah, this is one that we totally get immersed in. So, if you want to share, I haven't even gotten any shading accomplished. But if you want to open up your webcams, and I kind of mentioned the shading as we were talking earlier about, this little section right here, it emphasized the little pocket. Kind of like so. Oh, so you did decide to do all of them.
Yeah, last minute.
Looks neat. So let's see what everybody did. And look, Storm did it one-handed. Whoops. Almost can see. No, nice. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Elizabeth, I like the last one that you did. Neat, doing them all a little bit different. Very cool. Oh, they're all flipping. Oh, nice. And nice on that oasis, Carla. That is neat, neat, neat. So here, that was the similar issue, except mine was, I was plugging in the wrong thing. Oh, and look at Deb's did that. Oh, that's cool. And then, and I always forget about the different things that we can do to decorate. I need to make a list, even if it's just for myself, but adding the orbs in there or just dots. Oh, and I like Shulamites. I like, it's just always unconventional. That's cool looking. All right. And so I'll say, I'll holler before it says, if this is everybody, because I'll tell you before I snap the picture so that way you can pop them up. And there. Okay. All right. I'm going to guess that that's everybody. So hold them up straight. And all right. Let me get this. And let me make sure I got it. Oh, these are so nice. I did. Okay. So I will share my screen and then everybody can see everybody's. And I got, okay, good. I did it good. I did it good. All right. Paint. Okay. There we go.
I keep taking out these colored pens, and
Yeah.
I'm afraid to put them back in my case because I'll forget what they are. So I have all these little pockets of pens that for these unfinished tiles.
Funny. I'm looking at Alyssa's.
They're beautiful.
That's neat. So did a lot more with that curve line. Look at that. Super, super neat.
Very, very, very nice. Storm,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
With one hand. Just, yeah. Yeah, and nice. And Schulman's, it looks like maybe is it like aliens because it looks like it looks really, it's really, really cool looking. And I love that you do that. So
Notice Diane always get 2 of them done in the same time it takes us to do one. Or is that from this morning? Is one from this morning? I don't know because I wasn't here. So
I'm trying to remember. So Diane will tell us. Diane is quick.
I did 2 other ones this morning.
Oh, okay. See, 2 at a time. Heather, yours looks so precise.
Heather's explaining, and I'm drawing.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's I'm yapping and you know in the time of me doing that, I'm gonna flip my. There, it looks a little. Oh no, you're not gonna. It's not gonna change it there anyway. Yes, mine does look precise. It's really not. It looks like it. And that's. Let's see. Let me flip back to I think what maybe Alyssa said. The all of a sudden. Oh, look at how neat that looks. And I like Jen's with the color and then the you know the height. Is it? Yeah, color around the outsides and the highlighting in the middle like that.
Alyssa's does look like sliced mushrooms.
Wait. Oh.
Except it's probably the color. But that I mean, just me looking at it, it looks like sliced mushrooms.
Yeah.
And I love it, but I don't like mushrooms. But I love that.
Yeah. Me too. So neat. And and I like Elizabeth doing something a little bit different. And especially I like the extra one with the little worms. I think that's just
you know, I'm just looking. She only divided it one way. A diagonal on each square.
Wait.
See, I mean, she only has the little handle things.
Just 2 of them right here.
Right. Rather than 4 meeting in the
yeah. Or well, actually, I see. I should never say I did this. You know, the incorrect direction. Or Elizabeth decided, and you'll have to tell us, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, if you're so hopefully you're still on. Hopefully that wasn't a suggestion on my part, or you said, "Oh, hey, I'm going to just try it and see what it looks like," versus the gosh darn it, it makes me think of you know, you see it on the sitcoms where they're counting something and then somebody else is talking in the background and they're talking and they say some number and then the person starts with that number. No, they just like 1, 2, 12, 13, 14. Oh, but it's just really neat. This goes to show we can do things a bunch of different ways and have really cool results.
Really neat.
So, all right. Stop the recording. Bye recording.